That's a great question. So let's talk a little bit about what I do. Okay, so I used to rely heavily on ping connectivity. So let me just go into group. Okay, so let me just pull that up here. So if you've ever been to my Incentral onboarding bootcamp, and I just gave it a couple weeks ago, so I'm not going to bore you with everything I go through, but one of the things I always standardize when I onboard a new customer is this. You go into the domain. If there's an on-premise domain, you want to do it on the domain. Otherwise, you can script out a lot of this stuff. You just Google it and you'll be able to find the 3 registry keys that I'm going to modify here. But you want to come down to computer configuration, administrative templates, network, and then find network connections. In Windows 10, 2006 or 2019 and up, it's now called Windows Defender Firewall. It used to be just called Windows Firewall. Domain profile, and there's 3 keys you want to meddle with, okay? Those are allow ICMP. Now, people ask me, well, why wouldn't you just run an automation policy instead of doing it with group policy? Fair enough, you can do it either way, absolutely. So you can script out this particular registry key change very easily. I will probably end up building this into an automation policy at some point. I haven't yet, but this is where you would come in and allow inbound echo request right here, enabled. Now, typically, if you understand the mechanics of Incentral, connectivity service in Incentral comes from the probe, right? Now, the probe is typically there for all things network or infrastructure related, servers, switches, firewalls, routers, NASs, SANs, WAPs, or access points, the various, kind of in-office infrastructure. Now, if you have added connectivity sensors or services to something like a workstation, Stefan, what will happen is that when you have people working from home, that particular probe is never going to be able to ping something across the internet and also into their home because it's not going to work, right? So it should be only on that infrastructure related, those infrastructure related devices. And that should work for all intents and purposes. But the connectivity service itself is a probe based service. So also check that out. If you go to a server right now and there's a column for the source, and that source is not agent based, it is also probe based. So keep that in mind. I hope that answered your questions, and if it doesn't, feel free to elaborate.